other. And that's the point here.
That's negotiation.
I'm sorry?
Is that not negotiation?
No, that is dialogue.
But you're meeting their request.
No, the point is, after the children are released, then we can now discuss other issues.
I thought you said that those children are innocent, and so you cannot...
They are innocent, they have nothing
you can't
to do with
release
combat.
Those who are in custody.
If you are a true Muslim, even if you're Salafist, your doctrine as a Salafist must tell you not to kidnap children. So which means these Boko Haram people are no longer Muslims. It means that these Boko Haram people are drug addicts.
How
now,
would you...
assuming federal government says, okay, we are bringing people and we are keeping them at a certain location for you, what is the guarantee that these children will be released by these people? Since you have, in your own words, they have gone beyond reasoning. What, I mean, how? We can't negotiate. Government cannot negotiate. Government can always be insisting. And what we are asking the international community to do is, please, please, please beg these people to release these children.
Are we waiting for them to release the children? Or we're actually taking steps on the corner?
I don't know.
You know,
government people, I'm quite sure, know what they are doing. And I'm quite sure if the presidency is listening to this program, I'm quite sure they are doing something. But why I came here is that to appeal to our former leaders in the same line as Governor Aliyu Babangida had said, let us go back to the north and plead with our children to stop embarrassing the north, to stop embarrassing the nation, and to give peace a chance so that the north can be rebuilt. Therefore, I use this opportunity to call on former President Ibrahim Babangida, former President Buhari, led by Yakubu Gowon, Shehu Shagari. They are still alive. Abu Salam Abubakar. They can't keep quiet. T.Y. Danjuma. We stand and make a proclamation and plead for the release of these children and plead to the Nigerian public to stop politicizing the military. Military remains our last bastion of defense. The manner with which civilians, religious leaders, and politicians have been psychologically destroying our military is not in the best interest of this nation.
Are we politicizing? I mean, if we have issues with the military, how then do we bring them to the fore? In the sense that if we feel that really our boys are in harm's way owing to the negligence of some, top officers within the ranks of the military, how do we bring that to the fore?
Of course, the military has its internal mechanism to checkmate certain things.
How effective?
During the Civil War, Olusegun Obasanjo, then as commander of Dead Marine Commando, and also narrated in one of his books, shot a captain in Owerri for attempting to rape a civilian. Point blank. And it's documented. So the military knows that if you are found wanting within its rank and file, certain decisions must be taken.
Now that's a senior officer to a junior officer. We have seen situations, I mean, sorry to break your line of thought there, but we've seen situations where officers or, soldiers return from external peacekeeping operations, and it wasn't until they staged a protest, somewhere in Ondo State, that their allowances hadn't been paid, even though they were almost, sacked.
I agree with you.
And, this thing came to the
sad
fore.
moment. That is sad moment.
That is a sad moment.
In certain
how
issues.
then do we know that these sad moments aren't continuing within the ranks of our military?
It will continue, though. But what the military owes us is not to expose its rear to the public by making sure that their officers are fine officers and they are gentlemen.
Did you say it will continue?
No, look, they are Nigerians. They are human beings.
Should it continue?
In every country, there are some abnormalities. At some point, the Pentagon questioned the cost of a toilet seat in a boat that was bought for $150. but they set up an inquiry. Recently, in the United States of America, a veteran hospital didn't follow due process. The veterans in America is headed by a general. It's a full cabinet office. Now, there is a protocol of order that was breached, and that resulted in somebody's death. Look at what the U.S. Congress has done. They've called for inquiry, and they say that somebody's head will roll. That took time to be embedded into the system. We just, remember that we're just waking up from military control, and there's democratization. So after a period, that will end. And even this morning, a friend of mine called me from Abuja and asked a simple question. He said, if the military is going on into recruiting, why should people buy scratch card to go online when they are volunteering to die for their country? And I agree with them. I said, this present condition, the military should set up recruitment offices in every state capital. It gives you the opportunity to see whom you are recruiting. Boko Haram can go online and register and be vetted and sponsor people to permit the military, and we'll have a problem in our hands. But when somebody comes and you see their face, you'll be able to know what to ascribe to their application. So there's an evolution.
Okay.
But coming back to what I was saying earlier, Chemelin, regarding politicization. Oji Zokalo makes a comment. Jonathan may be the last president for Nigeria. Very uncalled for. Sheikh Abubakar Gumi wakes up. Jonathan should resign. The Sultan, a former brigadier in the military, comes out to say the army must justify 130 billion. This is his constituency. He can talk to them if he suspects something.
I think accountability shouldn't be part of this.
What I'm trying to say,
If people question
like a former DG,
question such
NSO.
budget, then I think they can as well let the people know what has gone down.
No, when the government is serious, I'm going to address this point. Let me conclude this other point. A former DG NSO, under an interview, says that we are fighting a civil war. A civil war. A man who should know better. What he's trying to suggest in this case is that the South should now fight the Kanuris, since it is established that majority of Boko Haram are Kanuris.
But not everybody sees it that way.
That
could be your interpretation.
No, it's not. Are we going to now take up arms and go against the North? Are we going to take up arms and go against Islam? People in Oyo have a beautiful arrangement there where Christians and Muslims live peacefully. People in Kwara have the same experience. So where does it come off saying we are fighting a civil war?
Pardon me.
This is inciting.
Mr. Banite, I do not quite see it that way. You know, I mean, I also happen to do a bit of language studies, but, you know, saying that is fighting a civil war, as Chamberlain rightly pointed out, there are many interpretations.
But it's not a civil war.
Because the army too, the military has come out to say several times that we're fighting people who are not in uniform. They're not people who are easily identifiable. I mean, they are.
But is it a civil war? Do you understand what the civil war is?
No, I do not want to go into.
No. Do you understand what a civil war is in the international community?
Just a moment, sir.
Yes.
If you look at it from that perspective, when you're dealing with people who look like civilians, what will we say we're doing? People who are attacking civilians but look very much like them and are not identifiable. I'm not justifying his words. I'm simply saying that could be another interpretation of his words.
In your language, if we are to call a spade, then we are fighting a war against terrorism. That is what I expect someone like Horsfall to say, that we are fighting a war against terrorism.
But you talked about politicization of the military. All the instances you have given, none points to politicization of the military.
Let me tell you what it meant. You will read in the newspaper where it says that Nigerian military are killing Muslim youths. And this comes from...
Are you talking about the interview of the NSO? Is that the former DG
that interview?
NSO?
Yes.
No, I wasn't referring to that one, because we have all agreed that it's